is just fantastic.
Captain's Log, Subdate 210128.9. Subfleet have ordered me to retrieve crewman Bork, as they have confirmed they were using him to get information on how I run my ship. So when I get him back, I'm going to neuralize him. Welcome everyone to the exhibition of stupid people. Today we have 4 subjects I'd like to go through. Before we start, I'm going to be streaming on Twitch tonight, some murder fun time. If you are at all interested in watching me kind of flounder my way around Assassin's Creed or Paris, link below. To start, we're going to go with a good and a bad. For this, we need Justyna Sobiraj from Poland, who in 2017 was jailed after admitting conspiracy to assist unlawful immigration, which is legal talk for fake marriages. Over the last 3 years and 3 successive Home Secretaries, she has been fighting a battle to not be deported. She was sentenced, by the way, to 7 years, but the Home Office want to get rid of her because they deem her to be a risk of reoffending, i.e. more fake marriages where she pockets money from those who were non-EU nationals who were attempting to stay in the UK after their visa had expired. Sounds complicated, doesn't it? Justyna's way around trying to, not be deported was to go ahead and get as many qualifications as she could in prison. It didn't work. The Home Office were finally successful and she will be deported to Poland and also banned from ever coming back. Which sounds like a great bit of news, doesn't it? So we go out with one, and here's the bad, in with another. For this, we welcome home Samia Hussein, an ISIS bride, who in 2015 joined the Islamic State. Interestingly, she feels no remorse for her involvement and did call all the victims of the Manchester bombing attack victims of war, which is an interesting way of thinking. Things have of course changed for Samia. She almost lost her leg, she lost an arm, badly damaged one of her breasts in an attack, so she got smuggled back to the UK earlier this month. Okay. I assume it won't be long until Shamima Begum is also back here as well. So to move on from that, because if I dawdle on that too long it becomes a 10-minute video of me ranting and raving about Samia Hussein, we're going to go to Fitz, a self-confessed retard, who has very recently been cancelled. Fitz is a massive YouTube channel with over 5 million subscribers, does gaming, commentary, jokes, has a sense of humour. So why has he been cancelled? Because he used the R word, which is up there with the A word, the B word, the C word, and the D. And yes, I'm consulting my notes here for this one because I find this to be quite stupid. Now, many have pointed out it is not cancel-worthy. Those that have commented on this situation by pointing out the R word is not the same as that of the F or the N word. My belief has always been, I don't believe that policing language is a good idea. And those that take offence over certain words are the ones giving the words power. Things can be said flippantly and in a heat of a moment. There is nothing wrong with that. I lost some followers on Twitch because I pointed out that the way a certain game mechanic was operating was remarkably autistic, and they got offended by that because they thought I was slighting those on the spectrum. No, it was the way the mechanic was playing out. It is not an insult or meant as an insult, but you took it as one. For example, retardation features in trucking. You'd know that. But if I said retard, someone's going to immediately jump to the insult. And I'll be honest, it's not really a bad insult. I used it far too many times in my youth, and I was called it many times as well. Although it is also possible I am actually one, and it doesn't really matter. It is just a poxy word. Now, if you call me dry, I'm going to take some real offence. And as far as Fitz using the word retard goes, couldn't care less. Good luck cancelling him. It's never going to happen. And if you are offended by that word, much like the F and the N and any other word that can be considered a pejorative towards a protected class, then might I recommend you do some soul searching and grow the feck up. Taking offence over a word. That window of acceptable language is also like comedy, getting smaller. To move on from that, we're going to go to JoJo Siwa, somebody I have only ever heard the name of briefly here and there. Steve Terraberry's rather trash video mocking her with kiddie kind of music dancing and nonsense like that.
Constipation JoJo, peanut head JoJo, banana JoJo, pickle sandwich JoJo, reproductive system JoJo.
Also highly inappropriate. She is a minor. You're in your 30s, but alright. Recently came out as LGBT and all the other letters. I do apologise, but I actually don't know which acronym is the one acronym. Perhaps somebody should put all the relevant acronyms into Thunderdome, and the one acronym that it actually is the one that survives. So JoJo Siwa comes out as LGBT after posting a picture of her wearing a t-shirt that was given to her. Great. Fantastic. Of course, I myself care about the status and sexuality of a 17-year-old. If you're not looking at the screen and cannot see the sarcasm sign, don't worry. I was being sarcastic. I really don't care. Not long after coming out, though, she was swatted, which I'll be honest is quite poorly timed, because many will undoubtedly point out this then can look like an attack on the LGBT community, and they kind of have a point. However, I think it's more likely it's just a troll who is incredibly bored because this Corona-chan lockdown nonsense is doing everyone's head in. But it is also a dick move and you should never do it. Which is also the other point I want to latch onto. You should not swat. You should not dox. You should not do anything like that. It's against the law. I am the law. Well, in my other outfit I am. There is a lawyer on YouTube called Emily D. Baker. Now she did an hour and 39-minute live stream talking about this and other subjects, but the swatting was the first part of the stream, and the way she frames it is very well produced for a live stream. You should definitely go check it out. I will link it down below. She raises some very good points from a legal stance and has some great segues between court of public opinion to legal professional opinion, and I find that to be quite fascinating. So please go check it out and subscribe to her as well. My view, for the sake of it, is very much in alignment with what she thinks from a legal stance, and I also think it's an incredibly dick move to swat a 17-year-old. For our final story, we're going to go to PewDiePie, who recently, like JoJo Siwa, came out, but not as LGBT. No, he came out as a consult notes VTuber. I know very little of VTubers. I know one person, I believe, who is basically using animated avatars instead of their faces, or non-avatars at all. Virtual YouTuber or virtual tuber, I don't know what it means. I'm too old, okay? Too old. With PewDiePie shining a light on the VTubers, you would think that they would welcome this, that they would be celebrating having a vast community. Now look at them, possibly follow, subscribe, patronize, give money to... One of those two words was correct, possibly neither. I don't know. But no. According to a number of VTubers on Twitter, their community is a virgin soul. Pure, unified, like the Borg. They've assimilated what they needed to assimilate, and now they're in harmony, like Tyranids. They have an order, like the Templars. Which is the biggest load of bollocks I've ever heard in my life. So to all the salty comments I'm now putting on the screen, seriously, grow up. Your community is not so special that it can't have a little edgy in it. And by the way, comparing his community to that of solely white supremacists or edgy boys is absolutely hilarious. You should all consider perhaps accepting differing views, perspectives, opinions, and audiences, because all he did was one joke, and you guys were up in arms over it. Wow. As we're done here, I'd love to know what you all think. So please do let me know in the comments down below. If I don't see you on Twitch, have a fantastic day, and thank you all for listening.